C is for Codex. This is a codex. And immediately you say, no, that is a book. A book is anything that can be read, and they fall into two types. Codices, the plural of codex, and scrolls. A scroll is writing which is written to be rolled from one end to the other. They're awkward and they're very expensive. They're awkward because you really do need a table to read a scroll. They're expensive because you can only write on one side of the skin. And they're also very hard to carry. They're very easily damaged. But the Codex has several very simple features. What makes a Codex is it's bound on this side. So for instance, I open it and I can read it. Think about that. The Codex allows you to write on both sides of the skin. The Codex is very easy to use. You can read it holding it in your hand. You can even read it sitting on a horse. And you can put a Codex in your pocket, or in a fold of your robe, or in your saddlebag. The first references we have to codices are in Roman authors from the 1st century. And they think of them as books that are modelled on collections of wax tablets. And they see them as the ideal way for people who have to bring books with them while they're moving. The early disciples of Jesus adopted the Codex as the way that they recorded their books. They were familiar with scrolls from their use in Judaism. But the Codex allowed them to carry their message. Missionaries could bring it, evangelists could move from city to city, teachers moving from place to place, the sort of people we find incidental references to in early literature, and they're moving around the Mediterranean world. Those people, as they travelled, the Codex was the ideal form of transmission. Moreover, it was cheap, it could easily be stored, and it could be copied by a non-expert scribe. Indeed, one of the characteristic elements of the writings of the early Christians is that all those writings are found in codices. But it tells us a couple of other things about them as well. It tells us that initially they did not place their own writings on the same par as the scriptures, the inherited scriptures from Judaism. Secondly, these were originally notebooks, and we should think of the early Christian writings as memories stored in notebooks. And thirdly, they can be copied quite quickly and quite easily. So we have to think of the early Christian Codex in much the same way we think about copying computer files or cassette tapes. It was brought by a teacher who was a traveller. It was used as an aid to memory. It could then be easily and cheaply copied and moved to another place. The Codex is one of the keys to understanding early Christianity.